You heard Dave Batista ask Triple H to give him what he wants. Well, today it's happening. We're going to let you out of your shell, Batista. We're unboxing the new greatest hits, Referee Batista. Fig fam, thank you for joining me for another unboxing, and today we are unboxing the Animal, none other than Hollywood's own Guardians of the Galaxy's Drax, Dave Batista, and this is from October 13th, 2008 episode of Raw. They gave a very specific date on this one where he was a special guest referee. I believe it was CM Punk was in the match. I can't remember who he faced. I should have done a little research before I did this. But he came out, tearing through that referee shirt. It was very entertaining. From Washington, D.C., 6 feet 6 inches, 290 pounds, and his finisher is the Batista Bomb. We recently unboxed Jimmy, Jay, Hulk, Ron Simmons, and now Batista. Makes me feel like I got to get the Seth. I got to get the Taker. And we got to get the Ray. But very cool. On the side, it has the same picture of him rocking that referee shirt, which you love to see. On the back, it says, exacting revenge on the World Heavyweight Champion. The Animal appointed himself as a special guest referee on the October 12th, 2008 episode of Raw. And there's the picture of him on the back rocking that torn up shirt. And this was, I believe, was it Elite Series 3 that this was in? And this is a huge improvement. And we're going to talk about why. I think the shirt is just better. It fits better. I just wish that it wasn't so baggy, because the whole comedy here is the fact that he was so big that he ripped through the shirt. They did a really rough job on making the shirt tight to him on both releases, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm a sucker for some referee figs, and I like the fact that we're getting more referee figs now in the Mattel era. If you know, then you know that we didn't get referee figures from quite some time. This figure is super thick as far as the shirt goes, I should say. The material of this shirt is not that of the typical cloth goods. It is super thick. I'm going to put it up to the microphone. It just doesn't even feel the same. It's very, very sturdy. Probably because it's printed on. All of these stripes are basically printed on that white cloth. Has a WWE logo on each sleeve. And right there on the pocket, right above the chest, where the heart is. So C-grips, you guys know me. I don't like C-grips, so we're not doing that. Unless he has to hold something, I really don't want to do that. But this figure rocks. It's a little bit different gear. So check out the hair. Not completely bald, so you can see where his hairline is. Great likeness on him. I think the hair is way too light, though. I think that the shading should have been a little bit darker. He looks kind of blonde, light brown. We know he's got darker hair. He's got those signature Batista boots that pretty much only he wears, with those buckles on them. The long knee pads, which I think look really good. And then the Batista logo right there on the waistband of his trunks. Blue outlined in gold, which looks very good. He's got that girly sun tattoo right over his navel, which is funny to me. And this is pre-loaded up with tattoos, Dave Batista. He really only had this one on the arm right there. A couple over here, those Chinese symbols and such. And then, of course, we all know about this one, the back tat, right? The back tat always looked cool. And I remember, I want to say it was Elite Series 30 or 31. So I feel like it was the first time that we as collectors felt a little bit gypped by an Elite figure, right? He was featured in the packaging backwards, didn't come with any additional accessories or anything. And I remember them saying that basically the tattoo was the accessory for how highly detailed it was and how much that deco cost. And a lot of people weren't happy with that, but I thought that figure looked excellent. On the back, he has a matching dragon from the tattoo right there on the tights, which I think looks pretty awesome. He's got some white on his face, a little bit of schmegma. But, I mean, I think the figure looks great. My favorite thing, and I want to touch on it right now, is those elbow pads. I love printed elbow pads. They don't do it with everybody that they should. I think that the Rock's figure should always have printed elbow pads from back in the Attitude Era. Same thing with Triple H. Knee pads, elbow pads. If they have printing on them, can't leave that stuff off. It is a huge, huge detail to leave off. But overall, this figure does look like him. It's absolutely jacked and does resemble him as a wrestler. However, we didn't get it for that, right? We got this figure because we wanted to have that guest referee, Batista. So we're going to put the shirt back on him and really take a look at this figure in all of its glory as it was intended to be. So this shirt, again, very, very thick that it's hard to get on, and that's part of why it looks super baggy. Now, you may remember I said that, you know, this shirt was all tattered and torn up from it not really fitting his body. Unfortunately, the Velcro does not work very well on the top portion. It's coming undone. But their way of making this tattered is they put a big hole in the back of the shirt. I believe, because I have the original, I believe the other one had a little bit bigger hole so you could see more of the tattoo. I wish that this time around, you know, we've advanced as far as how elites work and how we develop them, and all the engineering is very, very advanced now. I wish we had some cuts in the sleeves, holes in the front, a little bit different. You know, I mean, make this thing a little bit more of an upgrade from the original. But overall, I do think it is a very nice looking Batista figure. Can never get enough Batistas. I mean, this guy is a legend, Hall of Famer. I mean, right in Hollywood star. He's done it all, man. M. Night Shyamalan, Marvel movies, you name it. And not to mention, this guy is a collector himself. If you don't know, Dave Batista is a huge lunchbox collector. That's right. He loves lunchboxes, which I think is awesome. As a kid, I always thought they were cool, metal lunchboxes. And he has a very large collection of them. So he recognizes the importance of collecting. He may not collect figures, but he understands the collecting aspect. Plus, very cool. I recently saw a picture of Dave Batista signing autographs at his house, like I guess mail that came in. And in the background, you could see on his shelf a Ruthless Aggression Batista and a Ruthless Aggression Melina. If you know, you know. But I dig this overall. I like the upgraded shirt in the sense of how thick it is. It's not super thin and terrible. And I mean terrible, not terrible. But I dig that the elbow pads are still good, printed on. I like the gear. I wish that the hair was a little bit darker. I wish that the shirt was a little bit more torn and tattered. But overall, I do think it's a good figure. Even if you don't want a referee Batista and you don't have a 2008 era Batista, I think this is a solid replacement for whatever you do have. Maybe you have a more modern one. Maybe you have a little bit more Ruthless Aggression era one. I do think that this is a solid figure for that because I like the gear. I like the elbow pads. I like the blue outlined in the gold, bronze, whatever you want to call it. So I do think it's a solid addition to the collection. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at FigHeel. Twitter is The Fig Heel. Pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com or simply go to heelbooks.com. And the new 2025 edition is going to be available very, very soon. And this thing is about 65, 70 pages longer than last year's, has over 1,000 new pictures, more than 2,000 new entries in it. This thing is massive. It is a must-have if you are a collector. Keep track of what you have, want, and need. Stay tuned for that. Plus, it is going to have an awesome cover shot by Matthew Goldberg. And make sure you join Whatnot at whatheel.com, and you will get $15 off your first purchase. And, you know, they're starting to do away with that. So they're allowing us to continue to give you $15 to sign up, so I wouldn't wait if I was you. Get on there now. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you for joining me. Hope that I gave you what you want, as the words of Batista once said. So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace! Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need FigHeel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 5,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With Shots by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Premium, full-color, and value black and white editions available now on Amazon.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeal. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeal. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at WhatHeal.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.